Right. Just chatting. Hello, hello, hello. Right, there we go. So, the article has indeed dropped. I do have it right here for today. I hadn't really planned on a huge amount. There's not a huge amount to chat about coming up today, thankfully. So it's going to be a shorter stream than normal. These streams are supposed to only be about kind of an hour and a bit. But I'm sorry, not an hour and a bit, like half an hour to half an hour to an hour, basically. So, hello and welcome to Glorious Adventures. My name's Jolyon, and make sure that you have obviously liked, subscribed, hit the bell for notifications. Those early likes, etc., really do help a great deal. Yeah, so we do have the Horus Heresy thing today. It is focused on the Legions Imperialis, something I'm not personally into, but it's good to see these miniatures coming out in the sort of epic scale kind of thing. Obviously, I've got Death Guard up here. Well, soon to be Death Guard. And I've got my Imperial Fist Armored Spearhead in the works. I still need to clear a little space to actually start building again. Obviously, I'm in a very temporary situation right now with a blinding light up there. It's pretty horrific, which you can see reflected on the two boxes behind me. And yeah, so hopefully I'll be able to set up a little space to start building again, and then making some videos, sort of more actual hobbying rather than just reading articles all the time, which is incredibly tedious. But let me change over to what we have today, which is that going to appear? Yes, sort of. I've also realized this entire setup is absolutely, I think it's sort of a Twitch setup I've got, which is why none of the stream labels at the bottom are updating. They're all kind of Twitch orientated on this account, so which is why nothing is happening to them. I've only just realized that, so it's something else I've got to fix. But anyway, that's another issue for another day, and not today. Hey, Will, how's it going, dude? We got to look at, well, I don't know, various things. We've got, if I can locate the page. What's in the article? It's some Legions Imperialis right here. No, I know. Not Imperialis. It is indeed Imperialis, and unfortunately they are putting that under the Horus Heresy Hammer umbrella. So it's not the article I was hoping for, but it's the article that we have. Yeah, I know. I remember when Horus Thursday was with Heresy as well. Yeah, well, they're sort of putting this Legions Imperialis under the same banner because of the sort of time that it's setting it in vaguely. I would prefer they didn't. However, saying that, they aren't putting out quite as many Horus Heresy things at the moment. So they're trying, I guess this sort of kind of means they can still do Horus Heresy Thursday, but they're sort of diluting it a little bit by adding the epic stuff in there. Which is I don't know. I would prefer they bring out some Mark III or Mark IV like breaches, and then like in plastic for Horus Heresy. I would like them to do that. That would be the next thing for me that I would like to see. Breaches. And then I don't know, I think the Tartarus Terminators, I think they're probably a little bit small. They could get rescaled. And potentially the Cataphractes, I don't know. I think the Tartarus ones are slightly stumpy though. However, it is the 11th of January 2024. Carry troops gracefully through the sky with the Arvus Lighter squadrons for Legions Imperialis. The Arvus Lighter is easily the greatest aircraft in the Imperium's history, as we discovered when the new resin version hit the shelves last year. But do you know what's even better than an Arvus Lighter? 8 Larvus Lighters. in plastic. Now, try as we might, we couldn't fit them in a regular box. So instead, you get an entire squadron for your games of Legions Imperialis. Flyers are valuable assets in games of Legions Imperialis and use their speed to soar in from beyond the board edge before strafing targets, bombing strong points, and delivering cargo. Given that it's unarmed, it's the third of these that the Arvus Lighter excels at. Its speed and maneuverability making it perfect for dropping elite solar auxiliary units into hot zones. I was reading that and thinking, bombing and strafing targets? I'm glad they picked up on that as well. Thanks, Nightbot. That is those are all my links for things right there. Lovely jubbly. So yeah, this morning I've basically been pondering my website and what I need to do to it, which is the answer to that is a lot. I've got a lot of stuff to do on that. It's slightly worrying. So, you get 8 of these bad boys in this box set, which seems like quite a lot. If you were to run 8 in a game, I don't even know how much in a like Horus Heresy off the top of my head, how much an Arvus Lighter costs point-wise. It must be, what, 100, 125 points maybe? I know the Rhino's 35. Drop pods are... Yeah, an Arvus Lighter maybe 125. I know the Xiphon is 105, which I would love to get at some point. I would love to get the Xiphon light fighter thing at some point. Though the hold isn't big enough to carry entire tertios, it can still hold a respectable pair of detachments, and when grouped into squadrons, it's fully capable of airlifting a complete assault force to the front lines. It also sports rather good armor for an otherwise cut price runabout. That is, I guess, true. It's got a movement of 25 inches, Saver 4+, a CAF, I don't know what that stands for in this Imperialis game, of +0, or just 0. A morale of dash and 1 wound. So join us next Thursday as we get exclusive access to some closely guarded weapon vaults. Are we talking upgrade sprees? Closely guarded weapon vaults. My brain initially went straight to like boarding shields, so breacher squad for breachers, something like that. But closely guarded to me sounds like rare weaponry and stuff like that. Maybe what do you reckon that could be? What do you reckon that could be? Destroyer squadrons? Potentially destroyer squadron weaponry? So Jammy, how's it going? Oi oi Savaloy, it's going. We just seen that the Arvus Lighter squadrons for Imperialis are getting dropped sometime soon. But this last sentence here has me very intrigued. Also, I was looking at my webcam earlier, and it's very mushy, for want of a better word. I can't figure it out. Tiny plane, even tinier. Yeah. Let's hope it's not Legions Imperialis next week. Let's hope it's not Legions Imperialis next week. Let's hope it's Horus Heresy. I'm still waiting for... Are the apothecaries out yet? Are those 2 apothecary geezers out yet? Who are the real heroes of the Horus Heresy? Bobby G, obviously. Not so bad. Amdram rehearsals starting tonight. Crikey. Well, you got to get ready for... When's the next... I was going to say display, that's not the right word. When's the next show starting up? Summertime? I'm considering buying some Gunpla. Oh dear. Oh dear. When you say some, how much is some when it's at home? I tell you what I've been interested in recently. I don't think like I have any real interest in making one. Maybe I do, but I can't really see it happening in the scheme of things. Basically there's a couple of accounts I follow on Twitter or X or whatever people want to call it, that I follow. They basically make robots from scrap, bits and pieces and other model kits. That has been I kind of like those a lot, and then obviously they get them painted up and stuff afterwards. They're not literal scrap, but they're good, properly kit bashed and sourced from just bits of junk. I've been really liking those, and they're kind of like in the well, not really in the style of Gunpla or Gundam or anything like that, but they are pretty sweet. Murder Mystery in June. Oh, Murder Mystery Mousetrap. I remember seeing that in the theatre, at that one theatre which has had that show on for years. A fair amount, that's the spirit. I kind of just want to sit and build a thing and have a nice display piece. I don't have to paint. I started watching the anime and I struggle with the anime. I just can't get into it. It's not. I've realized it's just not a thing for me. And the whole, yeah. Where do you think the writers will go once old Horus buys the farm and Biggie sits in for the forever chair? I'd love some books of Bobby G demolishing traitor strongholds. Wait, hold on. There's a heart over it as he tries to get to Earth. That'd be pretty sweet. That'd be pretty sweet. I would like some stories about Faffy Boy. Fafnir ran just chopping stuff up, I think. Those, I'm not saying, I want to say smaller characters, but like more of the supporting character stories. I find those most interesting, I think, rather than just focusing on the main people. I think the smaller stories sort of fleshes the worlds out a little bit more. I know a lot of the books do that already. So whether or not they want to do more of it, though, I don't know. What do you reckon, Will? Oh, it's not a bought one. Our chairman writes them for us. Oh, this one is based on the Oscars, and yeah, he had his. We had this talk the other day. Anime isn't. Yeah, we did have this talk, Jammy. My memory is so. I remember having the chat. I was like, was it Jammy we were having a chat with? I think it was. But my memory at the moment is absolutely terrible. I think it's my streamer memory at the moment is terrible. I need to do more streaming for it to sort of really kick in. Especially anime from 1979. Yeah. Who are the real heroes of the End in the Death Volume 3? What I think, actually, while I do blabber on about this, I do need to fix this entire stream in general. I am considering maybe I don't know if I should dual stream this to Twitch. In the future, what I would really like to do is basically do this stream for an hour exactly, and then go straight into the Twitch stream at 3 o'clock. But at the moment, we don't really have enough hashtag content to last an entire hour. Maybe I should just push this stream back to 2:30 and then be done with it. The Heresy was a Primarch's great tale, but when it's over, time for some dual axe wielding chapter masters takes. I reckon so. Yeah. There are loads of stories of loads of different characters from which aren't necessarily Primarchs, or indeed first and second captains, etc. The smaller supporting artists, if you will. I think they'll do sequels to the Primarch books, but set post-Heresy. Up until their eventual disappearances and deaths. That could be a good one as well, Jammy, yeah? Problem is, I haven't had enough time to read all the books. I am still way behind. So my knowledge of this is pretty terrible at best. Favorites, we got Loken, Azek Araman. See, I don't really know anything about Araman. I need to change that. Let's be real. What other human besides Latara Saren? I suppose. See, all these names, like, I'm not familiar with half these. Nikona Sharokin? So yeah, all these, like, a lot of these names just not ringing any bells of recollection for me. Obviously, I know Magnus the Red. Because the thing is, I've been trying to listen to them on audiobook. And I just can't remember anything about, like, I can't even remember what audiobook I'm up to. But they just go in one ear, they stay there for a second, and they go. And I've discovered that's the case with all audiobooks. I wish actually reading the book is a lot easier for me when it comes to remembering a little bit. I'm up to be unremembered. I'm up to Unremembered Empire, but I've not been reading much recently. I've been trying to read more. I picked up a book a few months ago, the Minkalesk book, the Omnibus or whatever it is, and unfortunately, the way that's written doesn't jive well with me. I've in the latter sort of third of the book, it's got a lot more easy to read, but I spent a book that fat. I should have read in probably 1 to 2 weeks at the most. It's taken me about 3 months, if not 4 months, to get where I am, and it's been a bit depressing. So I kind of bonked the last bit of last year on the head when it came to reading. So I'm trying to catch up and get back on course because I do love reading. It's just making time for it because it's time away from the computer, which is a good thing. I do spend an awful lot of time on this thing. I kill for some rebuilding books, like the fact Earth is sludge at the end. Yeah. So how do you rebuild the homeworld? That would be a lot of that sort of stuff, like filler in information, would be a great thing. You know, I just like the stories of the common man and or woman. You know. Shuriken is cool. His bits in Angel Exterminatus are exceptional. I've not read that book yet. I got a Kindle, but I just struggle to find time to read. No, Jamie, I do understand that. When I was commuting, when I was working at Lion King, curse its name, curse Disney, I was spending up to, depending on the day and traffic, I was spending up to an hour and a half in traffic, up to an hour and a half in and then up to an hour and a half back home again. So I had an awful lot of time when I was commuting, but I was basically taking a bus or the train. So obviously if one's driving and commuting into work via that, it's not quite so easy to just power through so many books. I read the whole Heresy in 2020, Badger. Will, that is amazing. Even the short story anthologies, it gets pretty sloggy in places, seriously. Nick Kime absolutely butchers the Salamanders. That's sad. I'm still mad about it in 2024. Maybe 2020 I can start on the Horus Heresy properly. Yeah, I think, you know what? Well, I like it. We're still early enough in the month, in the year. 11 days in. We can, I think I can change that. I think I can probably work on it. Or at least a decent chunk of it. I do have a chunk of... I love omnibuses, so omnibuses. I've got a bunch of them already. I got the Night Lords one ready to go as well, and a couple of others. Honestly, I'd say I change books for a bit. Some books just get a bit boring at points. Like Thousand Suns, it's great for most of them. Then it's a boring bit on Prospero, and I put it down for a bit. Jamie, I totally agree. I do have another book which is completely out of 40k, out of sci-fi. It's sort of more contemporary. It's on Earth. It's not sci-fi. It's not fantasy. It's it's just a very easy sort of action story to read. So I do change books when I need to, because it's obvious that I'm struggling with a book. Not because the language is complicated or anything. I'm just finding it a bit, I don't know, not quite my jam. Eventually scrape through to the wolves showing up. Yeah, I must read all of this stuff. Imperial Fists. Alexis Pollux. It's a story of Saul Tarvitz that resonates. I got to start reading all these books. It's very... Also, like some of the audiobooks, the narrators, like when they change voice to do a different person. There's one book which still... Oh, I just can't stand it. I can't stand the voice that he does for this woman. The Remembrancer, what's the features? I found a read, skip, read if you want to list and just pick the books that covered to... Oh, okay. Jamie, I don't... See, the thing is, thinking about it, I like the idea of that, but I also know that the type of person I am, I would get thoroughly irritated with myself for skipping something in a series. Do you know what I mean? I know that's probably the sensible thing, doing it like that, but I would personally want to kick myself for doing that. I have to watch a film from start to stop. I hate pausing it. I like to watch it the entire way through. Not quite the same way with TV series, but I have to start at the first episode or the what do they call it? The tester. What's the test? When they do a test series, test episode or two, I have to start there and go all the way through, which sucks. It's great for Firefly. They should have made more series of that, obviously. But like the longer series, it's more painful. Okay, so who else we got? So we've got Rylanor, Emperors. I was also, by the way, I was also thinking about Death Guard. What to ally them with? Now, my first thought was Sons of Horus, because I am tempted to do some Sons of Horus as a little, maybe 1,000 points of Sons of Horus. I'm also thinking World Eaters. As well. Just as more like a sort of close combat orientated part of the force, because obviously these guys, they're going to be great for shooting stuff. But I think deep striking some World Eaters as the Death Guard push up, I think that would be quite fun. I know what you mean, because I'm the same with a lot of stuff. Heresy not so much, because not all it's necessary. That is true. That is true. Yeah. I know they've got an awful lot of fluff, sort of fluffy stories, etc. All right. What do we got here? Sigismund, obviously, another sweet Imperial Fist character. Jago, Sevatarian. I just butchered that name. First captain of the Night Lords. See, I don't know much about the Night Lords, which is why I've gone and purchased an omnibus about them. I was having a chat with someone at Games Workshop the other day, and he said initially he didn't like the Night Lords either. But then I think he found this omnibus as well and was sort of had a change of heart. I'm not looking for a change of heart necessarily. I'm just would like to know a little bit more about them. This is a 40k omnibus. It's not a Horus Heresy omnibus. But, yeah. So, obviously the Khan. Yes. Who's your favourite character? I don't know. I did say on, like, for Warhammer Fantasy, Nagash is my favourite. Not many. I got a few likes for saying that, because it is the truth. Sevatar is awesome. There's a heresy book with just him stalking around a Dark Angel ship murdering. Oh, really? He has rather a nice miniature, does he not? I'm not entirely sure what happened with my voice then. Does Sevatar have a minute? He does have a miniature. Is it a good miniature, though? That is the real question. Do we like this miniature? Honestly, it's one of the things which always puts me off is the ridiculous bat ears. Or the wings. I call them bat ears. I know they're wings. He's got a lovely mini. You like this one? That is allowed. Don't worry. I'm not going to judge you. I leave the judging. Oh, okay. I would definitely... Okay, now you... Okay, he's got a head option. All right. I would absolutely remove that stupid helmet. With removing the helmet. I like the helmet except these stupid ears. So I'd definitely go helmetless. There's all this flayed flesh. Just chilling. Actually, it's strange. It's a strange thing. From a distance, we're not going to start singing it. Don't worry. It looks worse, but getting a bit closer in, it looks better. So I don't know why. I can get behind any faction that wears flayed skin for fun. You're a fan of the Necrons, then, Jammy? He's a lot better than his Primarch, that's for sure. Now, what's what are they called again? Night Lords. Can I spell? Conrad Kurz. I always want to call him Conrad Cruz for some reason. I know the letters just need to change a little bit, but my brain always reads it as Conrad Cruz, and it's very irritating. He's got a lot of flesh just hanging around. I think I'm going to be getting Callus Typhon. His Gene Pappy is right boring. I find a lot of bad minis are a hell of a lot nicer in person and unpainted. Yeah. And you certainly loved flayed ones. Strange, I don't have any flayed ones for my Necron army yet. I think I'm getting close, like, obviously not working on them currently. I did go and get a Necron mini that I'll do like an unboxing and building video for, so make sure that you check the top right hand corner for this video to eventually I'll link to it if I remember. I think I'm getting close to 2,000 points. I reckon some flayed ones or the snipery things might be an idea. I don't know. He's evil for no other reason than, wah, Daddy didn't fix all the evil in the universe. Like a Gen Zer. Is that what you're saying, Will? Hey, it's Warhammer's Walking Apocalypse Now reference. Okay. Well, do I like this mini? We need to do a tier list of... I need to do a tier list of... what are they called? Primarchs. And then I should probably do a tier list of characters, just based on the miniatures rather than their actual sort of stories. I do kind of like... I like his armor. I like it. Do I like his armor? I think I like his leg armor. I don't know. I've never really looked at this miniature too much. I'm not like, because it's a Night Lord, I'm not too bothered. I'm eyeing up I've spelled his name wrong. I'm eyeing up this mini at the moment. Although I'm looking, every time I look at it, I still think the mini looks a bit, it's definitely a bit aged. It's definitely a bit aged. Although, see, the thing is, I have found that some paint jobs absolutely don't do the miniature justice. For example, I hate to do this. But the paint job for Bobby G, I've never been that enthralled by. I've never been that keen on this miniature. Like, as much as I love the Ultramarines, this miniature has never really seemed particularly amazing. And unfortunately, I think it's just down to this paint job. Now, it's a very well, I will say, I think it's a very well executed paint job. I just don't personally like it. No, Jammy, it's all right. You don't need to apologize. It's absolutely fine. Like, I've never been too keen on this paint job. Now, I don't know if I can find the paint job that I do like. It was a Horus Heresy article that they did a while ago when they painted. I want them to bring. These need to hurry up and appear, because I'd like to get some of those doctors, apothecaries. So when Horus Heresy released, I think they got a bunch of people to do the Primarchs. So when was that? Back in 2021? See if I can find the article really quickly. He's rather nice unpainted in the cabinet underworld. Yeah. See, I think it's like the paint job. Well, I'm not surprised that the paint job. If you don't particularly like the paint job, it can ruin a mini for you. Which is why, oh my god, how many articles do they put out? Bloody hell. Am I going to be able to find it today? I can't wait to paint up Evander. Yeah, Jammy, yeah. Because I accidentally, yeah. I did find that a bit dubious. I was rather doubtful about that one. Oh, excuse me. I don't know what that was. Where the devil is this article? I'm keeping an eye on the time because we're going to go live over on Twitch at twitch.tv/gloriousbadger to play a little bit of Hitman. Now, I know I'm terrible at the game, but I just need to sort of play some of the maps and try and get a bit better map knowledge. So eventually I will get slightly better at that game. Now, are we going to be able to find this? I like this mini. I do like that mini for the Emperor's Children. I remember I did a commission for painting up that one. Where? Because I remember talking about this before, about the Primarch, and I can't unfortunately remember off the top of my head who painted it either, which is a bit of an irritation. Was it this one? Ooh, that sort of Primarch. No, it wasn't this article. It was not that article. Where the devil is it? Oh God, is it? Oh no, they've Horus Heresy features. Maybe this is a quicker way of finding it. Huh. Maybe this is not it. Huh. I don't... that's the designing it. This is not going to be it. This won't be it. That's no, unfortunate. Okay, well that's fine. It's not the end of the world. We will I will worry about that at a future date. But not today. Let me just see if I'm going to quickly Google it. Okay, I have found it. I think this is the one I liked. Copy image link. Huh. Sorry. I don't know why this is taking me so long. I think this is the one that I like. Like personally, I think this paint job is better, in my opinion. I certainly like it, and it did make me look at the Bobby G miniature a little bit more again. Whether or not I'll be getting it, well, who knows about that? I don't think I'm in a rush. I don't really have any I've got a couple of Ultramarine, not characters, Praetors, etc., and a Centurion, I think, to paint up at some point. I've got a lot of Ultramarines to paint up for 40k. I've got the second half of my second company I need to paint, and which I'm not going to be able to do for this March from a Crag. However, this March from a Crag, I think I will start building my first company. I am going to be in America for 1 week of March, so I'm actually going to do my March from a Crag in sort of mostly February, and then start posting in March. So yeah. Anyway, we have had a look. It is going to be the Arvus Lighters for Legions Imperialis. I don't know if people watching are hugely into Legions Imperialis. I think if I was going to do it, it would be mostly or entirely Titans rather than anything else. But that was, we looked at that sort of stuff in last week's video, I think, when they're bringing out rules, I think, just for the Titans, etc. A specific book. I think they called it Titan Death or something like that. Hopefully I'll remember to put a link top right hand corner for that video, which we did that article for. And yeah, so I am going to be going over to Twitch. I need to make a cup of coffee, and so do check me out over there. I've got twitch.tv/gloriousbadger. I will be doing the Sunday article here on YouTube at 5:45 on Sunday, surprisingly enough, and that will be where we look at the Sunday preview and see what's up for pre-order next Saturday, if anything at all. So thank you very much for hanging out with me today. I will see you pretty shortly, or I'll see you on Sunday. And I need to sort out this entire stream. The layout is a complete disaster currently. Thank you, and goodbye.